Hi, everyone. This is Jack with Vacationies. And if you're thinking about a wedding at an adults only resort in Riviera Maya, I want to introduce you to Valeria Martinez, who is with Weddings by Lomas at El Dorado Royale and El Dorado Casitas, two of my favorite adults only resorts to work with. Now, this is a very long interview we're doing, so I'm going to divide it into two parts. The first video is probably going to be 10 to 12 minutes, and I promise you it is definitely worthwhile watching this video to learn more about what Valeria and her team can do. And then the next video will also probably be 12 or 15 minutes with additional information because I know we're going to talk a while. So, if you don't know, Valeria is the head of romance weddings with Charisma Resorts. That is El Dorado's, Generations, Nickelodeon. So these are all inclusive, 4.5 to 5 star resorts. Some are adults only, and some are family friendly. But no matter which one you choose, from my experience, it's an amazing experience. So let me just say this to everybody. If you've talked to me in the past, and we've done a video with Valeria about 2 years ago, I will say this, that hands down, Valeria and her team are the best wedding planning team in the Cancun Riviera Maya area that you can ask for. You will not hear no from anything she and her team say. They are creative, they're flexible. So if you are planning a destination wedding, you definitely want to look up the Charisma properties and work with Valeria. So, Valeria, let's talk about some different things. So, let's just talk about today El Dorado Royale and Casita, which are an adults only resort, one of my favorite resorts. We just had a family wedding there. You guys did an amazing, amazing job. I did a video on that. I've gotten some really great questions from that video. So, can you tell us more about El Dorado Royale and El Dorado Resorts or El Dorado Casita as a resort? And then we can talk more about weddings there.
Yes, I remember being with you at this wedding, and it is something super nice to do, right? To be able to combine different room categories and different atmospheres within the same resort. So, in a nutshell, Dorado Royale and Dorado Casitas Royale are the adult section of the complex. Generations Riviera Maya is considered to be the family section of our resort and the smallest one in regards to room inventory, but they feature the largest suites, they're all oceanfront, and they have the majority of them have either a plunge pool or a swim up. So this is more for the families with children, more of a like a fun atmosphere. While the adult section is more of a romantic, of an adult, elegant kind of experience. And the way that vacation is and Jack can help you is to create a group contract in which you can have best of both worlds. So you'll be able to get rooms with the adults only buys in the adult section, including Casitas, which features our amazing enclaves, right? Which are these horseshoe-shaped units in which you can privatize all of this area in which you can have pool
So let me
parties.
just stop you there about the enclaves because it's really cool. So tell us more about that. So you can basically buy out your own little hotel within a hotel, right? I mean, is that how that works?
Precisely. We are offering you to do a buyout of a section of our adults only resort, which is super trendy right now. It's called El Dorado Casitas. Casitas means my little home, my little house in Spanish. So they all have this really cool thatched roof. It features all of the amenities and all of the comforts of a resort, but they have this very quaint, fun, oceanfront look and feel. It's super tropical. And yes, you can get your private buyout and, with a room number in advance, you can decide who you want to have right next to you or within your enclave and feature private events there. So it's
Right.
very, very unique.
So
I don't know if anyone else is doing
yeah, I
it.
don't
I
know
don't think
anybody
so.
else that has done that out other than buying 500 rooms at a hotel or 200 rooms at a hotel. Yeah, I mean, we just stayed at the Casita, and I think to me, I really like it because the rooms are big, they have outdoor showers, every enclave has its own pool. So you guys can do foam parties and stuff like that if we own the enclave for someone's wedding, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Now, can we
You'll
have
have
parties at the enclave for the wedding as well?
Absolutely. There's the pool bars opening from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 p.m. So you can do your own pool parties. You can, go a bit further than, sunset. It's your own pool, it's your own private grounds, it's in front of the beach. So all of this beautiful cabana beds in front of the beach are also privatized. So yeah, it is a very
Cool.
exclusive experience.
Yeah, I like that. So tell us about, there's a lot of locations around El Dorado Royale and Casitas for a wedding, for either a ceremony or reception. Give us an example of some of your favorite locations for a ceremony.
I think one of my favorite locations is Gazebo 55, which is at the farthest end of Dorado Royale. It has an impressive beach view, and I think it's one of our largest locations. It can fit, I think, 200 people, no problem.
Wow.
Yeah, it is one of the locations by the beach. I do love the pier at Generations. I think it's a trademark of Generations. We can fit 300 people up there. It has best of both worlds, which is um, it's shaded, but it's oceanfront. The sky deck is also incredible, right? It has one of the best sunset views in the Riviera Maya with 180 aerial degree view of the ocean and the mangrove. So it's absolutely spectacular as the sun's going down and you can see, all of those colors. Two chapels in the resort. So it's Generations Chapel, and that's a beachfront 200 guest capacity chapel. You don't have to be a Catholic to celebrate a ceremony there. And we have a small chapel at Dorado Royale, and that one, it's super quaint. That feels like this very Mexico vibe. It's very similar to the chapel in the Fifth Avenue in Playa del Carmen. It has that
Oh, neat.
very nice Mexican flair
Yeah.
style. It's very intimate. So that one has a capacity of up to 40 guests. Location that's called Aqua Terrace. And we do have right next to one of our beach locations something called the salt water pool. So it's a natural salt water pool in which water comes directly from the ocean, and it's like a little pond. And we are able to do through our vendors. We set up acrylic platforms, so an acrylic plexiglass on top of the water, and we can set up the ceremony arch there. And there's like this asymmetrical terraces, so that way you can see from the back, and we can set up all of these chairs and all of these terraces behind you, and the ceremony will be over the water, oceanfront. It's absolutely stunning. And I think the capacity for that is 150 guests. We feature a couple cenotes. The property has so many different like surprises and like Easter eggs, I think you call them, right? Like there's little fun
Hidden
things all
gems.
over the place, hidden gems. That's right. So cenotes, we have two of them. We have a dry cenote, which is a dry sinkhole, which is like a cavern, and there's lots of terraces within that cavern. It has this very organic, tropical, natural feel because you're in the middle of the jungle, right? So you go across the jungle in a golf cart, and then you get to this area in which you go downstairs into an underground cavern, which is dry, and we can have a symbolic ceremony. We do lots of Mayan ceremonies, which is like the real, authentic Mexican Mayan ceremony, and it's super spiritual, like completely different to what you've seen before. And we do have a natural cenote, so this is like a water cenote, and we have done smaller ceremonies there. At the end of the wedding, usually couples jump into the cenote, into the water, so that's always something fun. And garden wise, we have a couple locations. We have the Enchanted Orchid Garden, which is a small location also nested in between the tropical foliage, and another one called Frida Garden. We have a pond, and Frida is the crocodile that lives in that pond.
But the
So,
crocodile's not coming to my wedding, right?
no,
Or can
she's
you
not
get the
invited.
crocodile? If I want the crocodile to be my like ring bearer, can you organize that? As I said,
I
Valeria will say no to nothing. So can you make that happen for us?
I'll try to entice her with some bait so
Okay.
she, comes up from her pond. I see her sometimes. It's super chill because it's also tropical. It's solid floor, so we can recreate a nice arch or a nice canopy there. And I think our couples are gravitating more towards this organic feel. ceremony and reception locations. And this is exactly what we are, right? We represent Mexico. We represent the Mexican luxury. We're not pretentious. We want to say, this is Mexico. This is what we have to offer. And the best thing we offer is our service and our environment, right? Like tropical, natural, and there's nothing better than nature.